Welcome to a new chapter, chapter 29, Polymerization, section number 1, Condensation Polymers. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe a condensation polymer and explain what sorts of molecules react to form condensation polymers. First, we're gonna start by discussing condensation polymers. Before we do so, we need to remember a certain term, which is polymers. You have already met the idea of polymers. Polymers can also be called addition polymers, and they are known as long chain of molecules with repeating units. Polymers are made out of monomers, as you can see in this picture down here. This is a monomer, which contain a carbon-carbon double bond, of course, as you see here also. This carbon-carbon double bond will break and open and connect with other monomers, forming the long chain. When this double bond break, as you can see here, it will form a very long chain of monomers. We know that with the equations for polymerization, we show n molecules. The letter n means the number of molecules in order to show that it could be any number and it is usually large on the left-hand side. And these form a chain that contains n monomers within it. And we show the fact that it is a chain of repeating units with these square brackets and the small letter n by the side. So these big square brackets, they show you that this is a very long chain of n monomers, of repeating monomers inside it. Now we're gonna discuss what does condensation mean, condensation reaction mean. Well, a condensation reaction, it occurs when two molecules react together and usually small molecules like water or hydrogen chloride, which is HCl, they are eliminated at the end of the reaction of these two molecules. This is an example that illustrates the condensation reaction. We said two molecules that react with each other, and an example here is a carboxylic acid molecule which is reacting with an alcohol molecule. Here, there is a water molecule that will be ejected at the end of the reaction. So, the OH group from the carboxylic acid will go away with the H from the alcohol. That's how the water molecule is released, and we are left with an ester. This is an example of a condensation reaction. Now, let's come to discuss the real idea, which is condensation polymers. We now understood what does it mean condensation and what does it mean polymers. Well, condensation polymers, they are still the long chain molecules with repeating units. But how they are formed? They are formed due to the condensation reaction of two different molecules, two different monomers of two different functional groups. As you see here, this is the first monomer. It has a different functional group than the second monomer, which also has a different second group. In the first monomer, we have the OH functional group, which is the hydroxyl group, which belongs to alcohols. In the second monomer, we have the carboxylic acid functional group, which is C double bond O and OH. These two monomers, when they react together as the condensation reaction, they will release a water molecule. They will eject a water molecule, as we can see here. When they eject a water molecule, it means that the OH group from the alcohol will go with one of the hydrogens of the carboxylic acid group, and then this carbon bond along with the oxygen will bond to the other carbon here. to form this long monomer. This is a repeating chain. Of course, many and many monomers of these will interact with each other to form a very long chain repetitive of this monomer inside. So polyesters, polyamides, and polypeptides, these are all examples of condensation polymers. These are all outcomes of condensation polymers reactions. And where do we usually see them? Well, we see them in sportswear and we see them in most of the clothes that we wear. Most of the clothes you wear, if you look inside them, you're gonna see the word polyester, for example. Some clothes, they are 100% made of polyesters. All these things, they are the outcomes of condensation polymers reactions.